Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Well, on the 25th of October, Ringo Starr is going to be releasing his 20th studio album. The album is going to be called What's My Name? And the title track was released a little while ago on social media. And just a few days ago, the second track from the album dropped, and that song was called Grow Old With Me, which some of you will know is a John Lennon cover song that Ringo decided to do. And a little bit of history on that for those who may not know. John had a demo tape that he did, and the demo of Grow Old With Me was on there. And he never really released a proper version. He did a kind of crude version that everybody knows that was released in 1984, 4 years after John's death, on the Milk and Honey record. But Ringo Starr gave an interview recently, and he talked about how this idea to do his own version of the song came about. It's really a rather touching story, really. Jack Douglas, the man who produced John and Yoko's Double Fantasy album back in 1980, had a demo tape where John from Bermuda had done a bunch of songs for him. And he said to Ringo, Jack Douglas did, he said, Ringo, I don't know if you ever heard this before, but did you ever hear what John said on this tape? Ringo said, no, I don't know. So Jack Douglas produced the tape, played the song Grow Old With Me for Ringo, but at the beginning, John, I think, introduced the song by saying something like, this one's for Richard Starkey. This is for you, Ringo, or something like that. And Ringo, in this interview, if you see it online, got all choked up when he told the story and said, it makes him well up, because John actually had Ringo in mind. John wrote songs for Ringo before. The song Nobody Told Me was a song that he had intended to give to Ringo, possibly. And apparently this was what was going through John's mind with Grow Old With Me. So the song has just been released. You can check it out. And I personally have heard it only a couple of times so far, but it was enough for me to feel it's a good version by Ringo. I think Ringo did a good job on it. Now, Paul McCartney also features in. He plays on the song and he sings in the background, but I've only listened on my phone. It's not really fair so far. And I so far can't really hear Paul. I think if you didn't know that Paul was on this recording, you wouldn't really recognize it on your own. At least that's how I feel about it. We'll see what happens when the actual album comes out later this month and we hear it, in real great quality. But I like the fact that Ringo said in the interview, since John never really did it, an official full version of it, just the demo of it, he said, I figured I'll record it. And what a great idea. And I think Ringo sounds really good on it, too. Now, going into this, when people were speculating how it was going to come out, I mean, you could see it all over social media, fans all over the place having differences of opinion and expectations. Some people were saying, this song is way out of Ringo's range. How is he going to sing it, based on the way John sang it on the 1984 Milk and Honey album, kind of like a higher voice. How is Ringo going to do it? I said, a lot of people were saying, I don't think Ringo's voice is really suited for this. And I got to admit, I had my reservations as well. But having heard the final result, I like what I heard. Now, is it a great version? No. Great song the way it's done by Ringo? No. But it's good. It's good. And supposedly there's something tagged at the end of it if you listen on headphones really carefully. I don't know what that is. I'm wondering if maybe it's going to be the John quote. There were rumors out there that Ringo was going to put John's quote about it being for Ringo at the end of the song. We'll see how that is when we hear it on the official release. But it's just interesting. I just want to say this, that back to the social media comments, a lot of people were saying all kinds of things. We don't know what to expect, and I notice it's very interesting in the Beatle community, even, where Beatle fans are down on Ringo quite a bit. And there's people out there that have disregarded Ringo, wrote him off. Some people say that he hasn't done anything in at least 20 years of worth. Some people think he hasn't done anything since the early 70s of worth, and if you listen carefully to everything, there's some good stuff in there. Not every song is a winner, not every album is a winner, but there's some quality material there. Well, some of the people after hearing the song said, "Hey, this is the best thing Ringo's done since the early 70s." Somebody else that I know said, "Well, this is the best song Ringo's done in 20 years." Now, I wonder if they're giving him a little bit of a bone because John Lennon was associated with this particular song and he wrote it. I wonder if they would have felt the same had there not been the John connection in it, I should mention, by the way, there's also a couple of guitar parts that sound a little like George Harrison in this new release. And Ringo says in the interview, so technically it's like I'm on it, Paul's on it, John and George in a way. So that's what Ringo was saying in the interview. But it's interesting that some of the people, back to what I was saying, social media, having heard this, the review obviously is mixed. Some people like it, some people don't like it. But I got to be honest with you and take this opportunity to say, I think a lot of people just have to find a reason to be cynical and get down on Ringo all the time. I find it hilarious that a lot of people were saying, oh, this is not Ringo's range. He's going to do a lousy version of it. He can't sing a song like this. After the song came out, then the people turned around and they said, oh, it's too slick. Ringo's voice sounds like too smooth. Sounds like too auto-tuned. It sounds too perfect. They should have left it kind of rough. Why don't you make up your mind? Do you want it to be smooth? Do you want it to be rough? At first you were saying you don't think he could sing it. Now that he sings it well, it's too good? That's the first thing. And I noticed that some people are saying, it sounds like a 1980s song. Ugh. As if it's a bad thing. It sounds like 1980s production. And all I could say to that is, well, if it does sound like a 1980s production, what are you complaining about? What do you want it to sound like? 2019 production? I know a lot of you out there, myself included, don't really think much of today's styles or production. Do you want it to sound more like it was made today? A teenage song today in the pop charts? I don't think so. Anyway, everyone's entitled to their opinion. You either like it, or you don't like it, or you just think it's so-so, whatever. I like it. I don't love it. So at this point, maybe I'll love it later on. Let's hear the album itself first. But I'm just taking the opportunity to say, don't find some reason to diss it. One guy said, they should have left the warts in. They shouldn't have made it so perfect and smooth, Ringo voice. Anyway, those are my thoughts on Grow Old With Me, the new Ringo cover of a John Lennon song. Thanks, everybody.